Let's see the differences between purchasing a car through a car loan or using the equity in your own occupied property. Now on the left in blue is equity and on the right is the car loan. Now you can use equity not only for a deposit for an investment property, you can pull out equity for cosmetic renovations, buying shares, or even going on holidays and purchasing a car. Now for this example, let's just say we're going to use equity in our own home. $35,000 loan, 6% interest rate, and our monthly repayment will be $205 per month. 30-year loan term, and the total interest we pay over the 30 years would be $40,543. Now on the right would be a car loan going through another lender. So $35,000 loan, 9% interest rate because car loans are higher, $565 per month in monthly repayments. So that is about $360 per month extra. And you're going to pay only about $12,302 in interest. So what are the notable differences here with using equity in your property? Well, the first one is, of course, is using the cash flow. So you're going to be saving $360 per month. So that is the biggest pro with using equity. The con of using equity to buy a car is that you are not preserving it for an actual investment purpose for an appreciating asset. So instead of using that $35K to contribute towards a deposit, you're then taking that $35K and using it towards a car. Now, in that instance, you're gonna have to resave the $35K back in order to either fully offset this loan to deduct the interest or to contribute towards another property. And that's the biggest advantage that going through a car loan and not touching your equity in the home has. You're preserving the equity that you currently have in your home. Now the thing is, yes, car loans do reduce your borrowing capacity if they are open when you go and get a home loan application. But in the event that, 3 to 5 years time that you're not looking to buy a home, or the later end of your car loan you're looking to buy, you could go with a lender that has no exit fees. So if you have the money saved up, you can pay out the car loan early and then use the equity to then go and purchase that investment property. Now let's say our property is worth $900,000. We need to work out the equity that we can draw out. So our loan balance is $595,000. With equity, the banks go 80% of your property value. So we'll work this out here. So the equity available is $720,000. Right, that's the max we can go to in the value of the property. Now to work out the amount of equity we could draw out, it's $720,000 minus the loan balance of $595,000. And that's going to give us a total of $125,000. So that's how much equity we have that we can play with from our property to use towards an investment purpose or any other purpose. Now we want to draw out $35,000 for a car. So if we put the car loan here, you're going to be left with $90,000 of equity in your property. So now you want to purchase a $500,000 property in Queensland. How will this look using the equity in your current home and seeing how the car loan can impact this? For the next example, we're going to look at buying a $500,000 property in Queensland, and we're going to show you how drawing out $35,000 of equity to purchase a car can affect that purchase for an investment property. Okay, so let's say the value of the property in Queensland is $500,000. We want to avoid LMI, so we need to go to 80%, so that's $400,000. Okay, so that's to avoid LMI at all costs. So no LMI. All right, now the deposit is $500,000 minus $400,000, which gives us $100,000. Our stamp duty in Queensland is about $16K. And then our legal cost plus mortgage cost is roughly $4,000. So the total cost is $100K deposit, $16K in stamp duty, and $4,000 legal mortgage costs. So that will give us $120,000. Now remember, we had $125K of equity, right? But we used $35K towards the car. So we're only left with $90,000. So our equity would be $90,000. So our leftover, or the required savings, would be $30,000 to make this work, or $35K to have a buffer. Remember, that $35K has gone to the car. So now we have to save that money back up again to make this purchase work. So again, when you're using equity from your home to purchase a car, remember that you are not preserving the equity for an investment purpose like a property, and that's how it can actually affect it. That's the only time where I recommend a car loan is good for that scenario, because you're preserving the equity. Even though you're paying more in the repayments each month, if you can manage that and pay out the car loan earlier than expected without paying any fees, then once you go and get a pre-approval for this investment purchase, you then will have the car loan paid out, you haven't touched the equity, and you can now go forward and not contribute any savings out of your own pocket to make this work. On more tips on how to buy your first home, drawing out equity from your first home to buy an investment property, please feel free to reach out to me, book a game plan call link below, and we'll be able to help you assist with your first or second property.